The 2025 Track and Field World Championships have been incredible, from an American and Jamaican sprint resurgence to Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone just blowing away the field and more. We're going to talk about it all with a special guest. Stay tuned. But first, podcast in the southeast of the United States as well. And one great big reason for that is my guest, as always. My former coach, still a coach in life and everything.
Yes. Thank you.
But Olympian coach, NCAA champion coach, high school state champion coach. You know him well. Some of you love him, some of you don't.
They all love me. Some of them love me less.
Coach Herbert Johnson of the Herbert Johnson Track and Field Academy. Coach,
thank you. I'm glad to be here. I take a bow. Thank you.
Yes.
Happy to be here. Let me put the glasses on so I can see again.
I've got the Herbert Johnson Track and Field official onesie, limited edition.
Right. That's for the rocket.
So
you should try to see if you can get into that.
Man, not with this head I got.
Brandon, back here, although you have not received your hat yet, and I'm thinking about maybe you might I'll never get a hat. But there are hats here. None of these are my hats. One of these hats belongs to you. Okay.
Bring it up to the camera so everyone gets a closer look, please.
Let's try this one. Herbert Johnson Track and Field Academy, established since 1976. I would have put established or even EST, but that cost more money. And as you know, I am frugal. So I had to kind of cut. But we are going to get logos and everything put on. I'm working on how I'm going to do that, working with someone to give us a better deal on what it is. But these are great. And you will get one. And you'll get a T-shirt too.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
And I actually give you a T-shirt with a logo on it. I won't just give you a T-shirt.
Oh, just an official T-shirt, even better.
Yes, that'll be great.
Looking forward to that almost as much as I'm looking forward to our conversation today. The 2025 World Track and Field Championships are going on.
Yes.
It has been incredible.
Greatest track and field world championship in a very, very, very long time. And NBC's done a fantastic, the USA and CNBC's done a fantastic job making it become a track meet, speeding it up, jumping from event to event, giving great angles, storyline, not carrying it out for 10 years. This is what it is. Get on the track. Let's see the action, and let's just go. So they've done a great job.
I agree.
Peacock, but it's Peacock, so that's different. Even though it is their channel, but they want to do a different thing. So like when they have the pole vault and you sit there and look at the whole pole vault, that's your life for that day, because it's not going to be over anytime soon.
Yes. So yes, a great job. I have enjoyed watching it. We are going to start with the hottest topic I've ever covered on this show, honestly.
Okay.
The men's 100 last year before the Olympics, we had an episode. I predicted Oblique Seville would win the Olympic gold. I was a year too soon. He took home the gold here at the World Championships. Ran a 9.77. Kashane Thompson, Jamaican Kashane Thompson, came in second. Noah Lyles came in third. What were your big takeaways from the men's 100?
Noah Lyles has better learn how to start. That's not going to really help anyway. Bendarek is a great high knee pass form. He's going to have to start trying to figure out how to elongate. And I know he wants to stay in that A step, but he's going to have to go to a B step that last 20 to 30 meters so that his stride length doesn't shorten. You might not be perceptible to see it, but as you start to fatigue out of 80 meters, it's how fast it goes down. But he is strong, and he did keep his form. But it's one of these things where it has rotated. It's the Jamaicans now, Now that Seville was supposed to be winning, even though I thought they would, Kashane Thompson, even though I consider him, that guy is big.
Yeah.
And some of his problems at 80 meters with 20 meters to left, if you see him the last 20 meters and you look at it, you see his head start to, and you can just tell, the washing machine has started. So he's in trouble. That's what killed him at the Olympic Games. It killed him again at the World Championships. There are different ways to attack that. My first way with him is lose 10 pounds. Now, he's got all that muscle mass. That's going to be kind of hard for him to accept and do. But Seville, who doesn't even look like a sprinter, not muscle-wise, similar to the young lady that won the World Championship 100, Jefferson Wooden. These are young people who have got a lot of room left for their frame to get defined and for their overall conditioning through time to even get more mature. This could be a problem. And in that short sprint, the way that Seville got out wasn't the best of getting out of the blocks. But as he works on that, he's got a chance to really do some special things. I don't see him right now being, everybody wants to be the next Usain Bolt. But
Yeah.
you have to go through there and show me that first. But Lyles is, I think he's going to start to put his money into the 200 because he can kind of see the handwriting on the wall. He has to catch them. His best race and their best race, he'll still lose. So he's got to figure out a way to move up because right now he's just waiting for their best race to fall apart. He's not waiting to beat them. And the experience that they just gained and the confidence is going to either do two things. Now that you've won it, we expect you to win it. Let's see how Seville handles that. And we'll go from there. But right now, he is the man. And that was an impressive victory.
Yeah, you mentioned his start. I always think of the smaller guys having, or even on the women's side, having amazing starts. But he had trouble where he didn't make it out the heat almost. He had that one start. I saw the reaction time, 0.286 reaction time on that one start in the heats. He looked like
he shouldn't have even been in the finals.
No, he looked like me. He's just standing up out the blocks, didn't know what he was doing. I was like, oh my goodness. And I think even in the final, he still had a slower start than Kashane.
Yes.
Who again is a giant.
Always being the first out of the blocks, it isn't always advantageous to your racing style.
Correct.
It's going through the little donut that's there at about 15 meters when you make transition, not losing the acceleration as you go through transition. Where's your body form at? Are you still in your power phase? Are you doing everything? So sometimes people who are not getting out of the blocks, but now sleeping in the blocks and getting blown out of the blocks, there is nothing that anybody has that they put down and say, well, you know what, just stay there for 0.2 something seconds and you're going to get out. So that definitely is a mistake. Lyles, one of his things is that he believes that if he was close enough, those days are going to be long gone now. And when Seville gets his start corrected, he's going to be really dangerous. Kashane still is the joker in the deck. Can he clean up the last 20 meters? Because right now, everyone is just waiting for him. If I put pressure on him and he doesn't know how to, all right, let's see. It doesn't seem like he knows how to relax. He is, Now, some sprinters you see like this, but they actually are relaxed through here. Now, there's no reason you're going to tighten up your neck and your shoulders, and you're going to be running up like this next. So you have to learn to just relax enough and keep your shoulders dropped. Throw your hands instead of trying to pull them. If you throw your hands back and forth, they will go exceedingly faster than if you pull them back and forth. But I don't think they even speak that way anymore. So you get into those things where Kashane really looks like he's working hard the last part of the race. The beginning part of the race, he's working hard also, but it pays off because he's normally at least, I would say, 1.5 feet chest out in the front of everyone. And it looks like, boy, you all about to get blown out, but you have to pay for it somewhere.
Yeah.
There's only so much sprinting in the sprint. Then you have to cruise or glide or float at some point, and then you start to decelerate where you have to learn how to maintain as close to your top speed as possible. So there are different ways to whether you're going to get to top speed, where you're going to get to it. But once you get to it, you can only hold it for like 15 meters, maybe 20 meters if the wind is blowing behind you. So then from the point that you got the top speed and your float, from there on, it's just maintaining your speed and not falling off the waterfall. And if you'll notice, most people just fall off the waterfall. No one is getting faster. It's
Yeah.
who doesn't fall off the waterfall the fastest.
Yeah. We were texting. I think I told you he's the greatest 80 or 90 meter sprinter in the world.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of that tensing up at the end has to do with some of the injury issues he's had. Like, is it causing it? Because it looks painful when he does it. You're like, oh,
It's so much going on in a 100. Different people run the 100. They used to say people who run the 100 are like they're antsy people. Okay, they're jittery. That's a different type of mentality when you're running the 100 meters, and you have to be focused to be able to do all of these things and relax as you're going through top speed. I'm quite sure the injuries don't hurt him, but I think more of his problem is understanding whatever his coaches, whatever their race plan is, to go back on the track, put the cones down again, run, start in the cones, shorten them out, make 100 meters within 30 meters. So you might have 5 or 6 cones according to how your phases work within that 30 meters. And then you start dragging that out so it's 100 meters. The 50 meters is actually the 100. And you keep dragging that down because right now he's in a problem stage where he doesn't really know, he doesn't trust by now with everyone always running me down. How the heck can he ever feel like I'm in control of the race?
It does seem like it's a mental thing now. Like if you got like a baseball player who all of a sudden can't throw it to first base or something, it seems like it's in his head, and stuff that's in your head manifests physically all the time.
Yes.
And so
he's waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
Now he didn't even look shocked this time.
Yeah.
When Seville went by him, he wasn't like, he was like, oh, well, I was waiting for that to happen. Okay. Now, Lyles didn't even look shocked that he didn't win.
No.
Van Derek didn't look shocked that he didn't win. Now, come on, fellas. Somebody should look shocked. But no, they didn't appear to be frustrated with their positions because I would kick some cameras over.
Yeah. And I think it's also speaks to his potential that not even his potential, his talent, that he's still finishing second in the world, like a world silver, an Olympic silver, even though he is turning into one giant flexed bicep.
Well, he might end up being the bronze queen. I forgot the young lady, but we used to call her the bronze queen. She always got she went to Portugal in the latter part of her career. It'll come to me as we speak more about it. But she would always in world competitions. Now she's going to get that bronze medal. And but the other thing is Olympic champions, that 4-year run doesn't bode well for any of them. Neither of them is Usain Bolt. So the chances of them, the ones that we just talked about that were in the Olympics in the 100, even being anything by 2028 could have evaporated entirely. I think Seville, because of he just made it, it's 2025, so we don't have that many years that he'll make it to the next to the 100 and still be viable. Cushane probably. Lyles in the 100, I don't see it. Van Derek, I don't, maybe, but I don't know who else America's going to even throw into the 100. This was not good.
No,
not that they got slaughtered, but it was the manner that they've same old problems, still the same old problems. You can't have the same old problems. Make a new problem, but it can't be the same thing. I can't get out of the blocks. I'm going to wait for them to fall apart. They are no longer falling apart because they know that's what you are waiting for. But Krishane has not been able to put his total race together yet. So I'd like to see what that looks like.
Yes, agreed. And Oblique and Kashane, both 24. Kenny Bednarik, 26, about to turn 27. Noah is 28, to your point. Now,
normally 30 years old, maybe 31 now. It used to be between 26 and 28, maybe 29. You were an old sprinter. But with the tracks, the shoes, the nutrition, the things that they are doing now in training, you could pull it out. But the men's division has always been a multi-level A, B, C, D, E, F, G division. So there's not a lot of room for you to falter. The women's division is more A, D, I, M, which is nothing wrong with that because their priorities a lot of times in sport is different. So you don't get a cascade of a lot of women at the higher levels. So it leaves you an opportunity to run longer. The men, and that's across all of their events. But the men, they're coming for you right away. Or unless you're Ryan Crouser, which means I can go to sleep, not practice for 2 years, come back and have one meet be the meet that is the world championship and beat your brains in, and you can't do anything about it.
That is correct. He is ridiculous. You mentioned Usain Bolt. I think we were spoiled with him as far as thinking that these sprinters would come back year after year after year, or Olympics after Olympics after Olympics. Someone else, Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce, saw her in her final world meet in the women's 100, passing the torch. But who is she passing the torch to? We saw Tia Clayton, also from Jamaica.
No torch for her.
Bounced back after her Olympic disappointment to take second. And then, of course, American Melissa Jefferson Wooden.
Georgetown.
South Carolina.
It's in the water, man. In that water day. I tell y'all need to come here to get the water.
Championship record. 10:61. Julian Alfred. 10:84. She didn't look healthy. But
she didn't look like after the race where they were showing her, that was not the 100. So go ahead.
Yeah, so Jefferson Wooden, what do you make of this progression? 11:03 in 2023, 10:8 last year, and really shocked people through both the Olympics and Grand Slam track. Rest in peace to Grand Slam track. What in the world?
What do I think about it?
Yeah, what in the world? Like, this girl is incredible.
She's going to come to the closest in the next 2 years. I will know. She'll be into the 10.55. Look, the win was not a factor here. Now, not that I don't believe FloJo's. I always come back to her time is incredible. You all say it was win aided. There's everybody else's time. Look at their times. Do their times look fantastic? Okay, so that's good. You can't blow the wind down one lane. I mean, it could happen, but let's be serious. But if she gets legal win is 2.2 meters a second. If she gets a 1.8 meters per second wind behind her, somewhere up in there, not that she has to have it now, but I'm just saying within the next 2 years, and she runs what she just ran there at 10.61, she would probably run at 10.56. And if she runs a 10.56 at her age, forget the Olympics, because she's going to become a Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce and run a few years and might even make 2028 and make 2032 behind it. But that 10.49 looks more doable with her because her body is slight. She doesn't, if you look at some of the sprinters over time, Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce, Sharika Jackson, Huron. If you look at them as they come out over time, you start to notice that their forearms get a little thicker. If you look at Jefferson now, right through her shoulders up here, what are these, trapezoids?
Yeah.
Right in here. If you look up there, you can see where that's not as big as some of the others, but that's pretty defined. But if you look at her back, you go back and look at her back when they show her from behind. She can just barely get stuffed in that thing. If you look at her back, her accumulated strength, more experience, and now I know I'm going to beat your brains in, because the 100 was another beating, but the 200 was a real. My mama saw you do something wrong, and she's thanking you herself. So I think that we're looking at the next coming of Usain Bolt on the women's side over the
Wow.
next 2 years. I don't see anybody, Tia Clayton, none of them. She hasn't even. I feel like, just looking at the 200 she ran, I know we're not there yet, that she shut the 200 down about 5-10 meters from the line, where she wasn't digging anymore. She just actually was relaxing so that she can come through. In the 100, she takes more steps than everybody over the first 15 to 20 meters, which is kind of crazy. It's contrary to what you would normally think, because normally the athletes that finish the race with the least amount of steps went the fastest, because with their cadence, the stride length is longer, so they took the least amount of steps. She's coming out there like one of those cartoon characters, chibbity, 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 and she's taking more steps, but they're still complete, powerful steps. And at about 20 meters, you can see her make her. Look at her leg adjustment. If you look at the blocks with whoever leg everybody else is on, when they step, they step about the 8th to the 10th step. She's changed legs, or is about to change legs. By the time they get to the next step, if you all are on right leg, right leg, right leg, right leg, you look again, and after about 11 or 12 steps, your right leg is her left leg. She's already picked that up, and she does it normally again at around 40 to 50 meters, and it's you can see it, her start to move within the first 20 to 30 meters. But that's what happens at 40 to 50 meters with the acceleration and everything going. And then she gets the extra step. There's no way you can make that up, because if her stride length is X amount of feet and your stride length is X amount of feet, but she's getting an extra amount of feet, like 2 of those per race, how do you make up that?
That's a very good question. And we might as well talk about the 200 now, too, because I mentioned the torch passing from Shelly Ann to somebody. Shelly Ann was the last woman to pull off the 100-200 double at Worlds in 2013. And you talked about it. Like, Jefferson, it was just not even, there was nothing to it. I know we were missing Gabby Thomas. I don't think Gabby Thomas would have had anything for her. Alfred, I know, was not in the 200 because of her hamstring. That was just dominant. You're right. Like, yes. She was just kind of coasting at the end. And it's like, I guess the shocking stories were after her, where Great Britain's Amy Hunt took home the silver.
Who even heard of Amy Hunt?
Amy Hunt on the international
scale. What is Amy Hunt doing out there? That's like insult to injury for the others. Dog, Amy Hunt?
Yeah, I was.
Asher Smith is sitting there saying, Amy, this is my show. And also, the Talou, Asher Smith, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, we might have seen the end of them as far as, I don't think they'll make another Olympics. I think this is the swan song, the major swan song for them, even if they come back and run. Their careers are now, they're on their way out with great careers. Talou is always in a final. Asher Smith, always in a final. And when you're talking about the best in the world, to always be in the top 8, that is incredible. We're so busy with who won, who got silver, who got bronze, that we're not back there looking at the people who have put their lifeblood into this. Don't get in any trouble. Just go do their job. Do it as a champion. Act as a champion. They are champions, and they leave something to the sport where you like, wow, that was a career. Yes.
Yeah, that's a great point, because there's so many athletes in all of these disciplines who, this is a grind. And you can only have one gold medalist every event. And you can only have 3 medalists total every event. And just because you are the 4th fastest person in the world, like, think about how that sounds. The 4th fastest person in the world.
Where are we now? 7.2 billion people? Somewhere around there?
Yeah, so that's pretty
That's kind
pretty
of crazy.
good.
Yes,
Pretty
that's
good, I'd
fantastic.
say.
Yeah, you're doing it when the Olympics only come around every 4 years. Each event, even if you could fill it up with your comrades, you only have 3 people per event, unless they start this crazy world championship thing. But we're not even. So you only get 3 people per event. So 340 million people in America, only 3 can go. And then you have the rest of the world, and they're only sending 3. And then your event from all of the entire 6.9 billion people on the planet, you're going to meet here, and you've got to be ready for those 4 years. World Championships now every 2 years, and the different things that they're trying to throw up to continue making money with the sport. But you have to be on your P's and Q's. When can you relax your body to take a rest? You always have to be within 85 or 80% of your conditioning if you plan on running next year. Because you just can't come down here at 50% and then say you're going to get back up here when the others are not taking a break. And we're not counting the new blood that's coming in and the people like GOAT, who you might never have heard of before, who are jumping off and into it. The young man from America who runs the 800, the 16-year-old, they're going to have to show me his birth certificate. That boy is something to get in there and the experience that they're going to get gain from it. So, yeah, that's a lot. And it's not like football. We don't have a champion every year. Not like we're not champion every year. You want this championship? The actual age of your body is also an obstacle to you making it. You might just get too old.
Yes. And 8.2 billion people now. So
8.2 billion people.
pretty good.
I've done my share. I've done my share. I've done my share.
And I will say too, Amy Hunt was on Great Britain's silver medal winning 4x1 team at the Olympics. So now I had not heard her do anything in the 200, so this was shocking to everyone.
Yes,
And she was shocked as well.
There's a lot of shocks in this Olympic Games.
Yes. So,
holy moly.
Yeah,
in this World Championship, this has been, close your eyes and things are going on. And you like, is that real? I have to look at that again. So, yes.
And it was good to see Shericka Jackson back after the Olympics too, because I don't know what happened there. I don't know if we've ever gotten the full story, but good to see her back.
Yes.
Moving on to something that was even more spectacular to me than Melissa Jefferson Wooden, which ain't too much that is more spectacular.
No.
Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone.
Levrone, you learned the speaker to say her name.
I've been practicing.
Levrone.
It was tough.
Yes. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone.
Second fastest time ever in the 400.
Ever. Okay. In the entire world. Coach with that 47.6. Now, I'm not a big fan of people always hopping on. These people were on steroids at this particular time. If you can't show me that you caught that particular individual at that particular time, I might in my head say, well, it seemed like that probably might be a thing. Stop besmirching people's names because you didn't win or your country isn't winning or it didn't go the way you want to go to. Show me the test and I'm with you, okay? But if that was the case, then why we just take the world record out and let's not have the 47.6 and whatever you guys think is the world's record, then have that up there and let's be done with it and stop having it there. Because if Levrone breaks the world's record, who's to say that Coach couldn't have broken the world's record? Because if Levrone is clean, then who's to say that Coach didn't know something that we have just found out? When Edwin Moses was running 8 years in a row without a defeat, not 8 years in the finals, 8 years without a defeat, just killing people. Not one person said, you think he's on drugs? No. But to not take away from what she did, because that's what everybody is running for. Now, Levrone is 0.2 of a second away from it. Whoo, boy, Paulino was behind her at 47.92. That's not driving the bus now.
That would
That's
have
a
been the second
Ferrari.
fastest time if Sydney did not exist. That would have been the second fastest time ever. And
Yes.
she came in second.
And the young lady that I love, well, Louise NASA,
NASA,
sorry,
yes.
so now you got caught for doing something wrong and you had to pay your fine and time and get out, but now you're back. It is not over yet because of the 47.92 that Lino ran, because of NASA, because Paulino was in lane 9, NASA was in 7, I believe, and McLaughlin was in 5. So she had them to pull her. Paulino changed her race strategy, which I don't know what is wrong with her. I understand what she was saying is that if I'm going to run, McLaughlin is going to get close to the world's record or break it. So if you look at the splits, I have to run this front part faster than I would normally run this front part and then be strong enough to come home. Well, that's fantastic. Were you practicing that before this one race? Because if you weren't practicing that and you were running the last 2 years, cruising down the back straightaway and then coming home like a mad wild banshee, you can't just come the day of the race and just come out like a wild banshee down the back straightaway and then expect to come home, even though you did come home. But imagine that I believe that those three, we haven't heard the rest of this, and I believe now the 47.6 is in jeopardy because they're going to have to run each one of them are going to have to run in major races now in order to keep going, because I believe that any one of those three could get back down into the 47s, and who knows what will happen after that.
And we do have maybe a little bit of a rivalry, because I don't know if you saw Paulino's comments afterwards about how she felt good being a champion because she ran such a great time. And she also doesn't just show up for 2 or 3 races a year like some people.
Is she saying something negative about Vavaroni?
I was like,
that seems like that's an unnecessary statement.
who shows up 2 or 3? Now, I'm thinking similar to Ryan Crouser. If someone can show up 1, 2, 3 races a year and beat me, then maybe I should hush.
Yes.
Because I don't think they give out awards for that, where perfect attendance.
No, just come win.
I might be able to win that. If you put me on the 2028 Olympic team, I will win perfect attendance. I'll show up to every race. In the 100, I'll show up to every 100 meter. Every one. I'm going to run 23 seconds.
Will be your last race, but that's good.
Yeah,
You're not going to have a lot of races, Brandon.
I'm going to run 23 seconds flat, 23 flat, but I'm going to be there every single time.
Yes.
And I'm going to get my certificate at the end of the year for perfect attendance. But that was just, it felt like.
It's going to be good.
Felt like
because now we know that she's not going to accept this. Okay?
Yes.
We know she's not going to accept this. She doesn't accept this. She knows she's opened her mouth. Her camp knows she's opened her mouth. Her coach is saying, could you just shut up until next year and then talk trash? So they're going to be bidding as to where is the weakness in Levroni's race. Where is the weakness?
Where is it?
There is no weakness. Okay, she comes out fast, but she looks like she's jogging. She's going around the curves, but she looks like she's jogging. She's coming home, and she looks like she's jogging. So there is nothing that you all are going to do except make her run faster. If you start to get close to her down the straightaway, they'll go back in. Remember, she's with Kersey, for all intents and purposes, 800-meter specialist. She's going to go back down there. He's going to formulate how to close, and it's going to. But I think this is going to be a a few years because they're all kind of relatively young, and we haven't seen the end of them. Plus, who's the unknown
Who's
woman
coming?
that's going to show up?
So this is my question, my final question on this in regards to Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. What does she do? Which is more likely? Breaking the open 4 world record or going sub 50 in the 400-meter hurdles?
Yes.
I think that might be
Okay.
the right answer.
That is the answer.
Yeah.
She's going to do both of them. She's going to do both of them. What she just did, which is an insult to all 400-meter athletes, is she said, I'm going to drop these hurdles. I'm going to come down into your realm where 400 hurdles is, you have to, well, you don't have to, but let's say she's going 13, 15 steps between hurdles, or 15, 17, whatever her pattern is. It's a patterned race. The 400 is not a patterned race. You run it on feel and training. This is how I should be here. This is what I'm feeling like. This is how the track feels. This is what's going on right now. This is what they're doing. Is difference between if you're running to win or running for time. This is what I did in practice. And so that's what's going on with that. But with Sydney, at this moment, she's dropped down, told all the 400-meter people, I can come into your realm and beat you. And she might have her eyes on trying the 200, but I think she'll get spanked there. A little bit too fast. Turnover a little bit too great. You can't cruise in that. You have to actually be getting it as you float through. So, but I think she's going to drop the world's record and run under 50 in the 400 hurdles. And I think she's going to break the world's record in that coach's world record in the 400. But even if she does, I think people are coming.
All right. Not speaking. I don't know. That transition is terrible. I feel like this is that was my American relay transition right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was bad. That's bad. That's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna pick up the baton. Okay.
Pick it up.
Okay. So
Ding-a-ling-ling.
the only athlete who might be more dominant than Sydney, we talked about him a little bit here and there, Ryan Crouser. Just put into perspective how incredible Ryan Crouser is, because shot put, much to your chagrin, does not get as much shine as it should. But what he did was absurd.
First, you're not competing against the field in any of the throws or jumping events. The ball is always ready to go. It's a 16-pound ball. It's always a 16-pound ball. It might pick up some dirt and be a little bit heavier than 16 pounds. It's a 16-pound ball in practice. It's a 16-pound ball in qualifying. There is no, I'm going to just throw it out there and let it go and see what happens when you're talking about a field of everyone who can throw at least 21.5, and you're looking at 22 meters to be the win. So you have to push. Elbow surgery, not just elbow injury, and rehab. First meet of the year, because he was the world champion, or the Olympic champion, and he was Diamond League. I don't remember if he went to Diamond League. So he got a pass to come in so that America can have their contingent. So this is his first time out in competition. And he comes out in the first competition of the year, and he beats everyone in the world who's been practicing and throwing all year.
Is that good?
And
is that a good thing?
Stupendous. That is not even a word. All right. That's how many? This is 3 Olympic Games in a row, and 50 million world championships, and 9 billion American records. What is going on? This is crazy. The rest of them come to the meet, in warm up, unless you hear him say, oh, and his arm like broke, that 6 throws, there's not 12 people in the world that is going to stop him from being number 8 to make the finals. So he always knows, I'm going to get all 6 of my throws. And if you give Ryan Crouser 6 throws, why are you throwing? The Kovacs could have in the old days push him. Kovacs is old too. Crouser is getting old, but it doesn't look like there's anything going to happen to him. He's actually a man that looks like he could be Hercules.
Yes.
And he's got a wide frame. A lot of the throwers have an H frame, but he actually has a Y frame. So he actually looks athletic. He's long. His release angle is way up. That wasn't even his best throw, not just because it wasn't his father's throw. He wasn't even lifting the ball. He was just throwing the ball forward. He beat them with a 90% technique. They're going to not, unless he gets sick, gets the flu, or something drastic happens. 3 years, shot putters don't go backwards that far. The next Olympics, he'll medal if he doesn't win it.
So, just looking at his profile, 2016 Olympics, gold medal. 2021 Olympics, gold medal. 2024 Olympics, gold medal. 2023 World Championships, gold medal. 2022 World Championships, gold medal. You have to go to 2019 when he got a silver at Worlds for him not to have won a gold medal at a major competition.
Now the greatest shot putter in the history of the shot put, unless someone's throwing in caves up in Tibet, he's the greatest. He has surpassed the steroid era because the steroids. He's surpassed what they were throwing. A matter of fact, about the top 7 or 8, 10 men have surpassed a lot of what the steroid era has done. Crouser, Kovacs, and I believe Walsh have surpassed the world records that have been in that time frame, and a lot of the others are within that scattered group of their top 10 to the non-steroid top 10. Now the non-steroid top 10 has taken over the listing. So I don't know. You want to have to come with someone. And I'm not even talking about being able to. None of this group. We thought Pepperari was going to be the next Crouser, but he's gotten just massive. Walsh I think he's got himself where he believes this is where I am now. I'm not going to beat him. I don't think there's anyone of the group except for the Mexican, Munoz, who just surprised everyone with a silver medal doing something he didn't even know he could do with a throw that was that his personal best? Was that Mexico's national record?
That was a national record, yep.
Yes.
21.97.
Oh, man. And he's, I think, how old is he?
He's 30.
Okay, so he probably is not going to, he and Krause are probably running on the same clock. But he's a wild card now because he's made a breakthrough in a major championship. So he took the pressure, the things that he's been told by his coach, and you can do this. Now he's, oh boy, I really can do this. So let's see what happens with that. But Crouser, at least over the next 2 years, don't know if he's going to make it back to be the gold medalist in the Olympic Games. But if he's throwing, I expect him to medal. Similar to Valerie Adams on her swan song. Crouser's the man. He's the greatest ever. He's rewrote the book. And I don't think he's thrown as far as he can throw yet.
That is scary. Someone else who keeps looking unstoppable, Mondo Duplantis in the pole vault, another world record. He just goes a centimeter at a time just to get those world record bonuses.
When they put up his stats on NBC against Budka, did you see it? Budka's got like a kabillion chains over. As far as moving the world record up a little at a time, he's way behind Budka, but not in height. Okay, just in the Budka was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Duplantis is just playing with them. I even thought that when he missed the first time, I was saying, go ahead, keep on playing. That he was just, let's get, he's still a young man. And he's kind of, young people do stupid things. I'm going to hype the crowd up and act like, I heard him say, ooh. And then, now the second time, I didn't think he was messing around. I think the second time, the track and field guards was like, how'd you like that? But we don't have anybody. Kendricks and the rest of them. You're talking about a man who goes and breaks world records because he wants to break world records. While he's breaking world records by a centimeter at a time, you all are losing. And no one is saying they're even going to break a world's record. And they are so afraid of him that they're all his friends.
That's what got me when I was watching it, because you talked about, like, in the field events, it's you versus the equipment for the most part. These people, I was so confused because they ran off. They were celebrating like they all won the gold medal together when he broke the world record again.
Yes, I would step on your foot with my cleats. Okay.
I was like, first of all, he's broken the world record so many times. Like, it's kind of like, okay, he broke the world record again. Okay.
Yes,
I can't imagine still being excited about it, especially if I'm also trying to pole vault. I think he's got the top 14 pole vaults ever. At a certain point, I'm not going to beat you there, but we're going to have to duel with maybe we'll get up on the horses with our pole vaults and go at each other, joust or something. What do they call it?
I have to do something. Look,
I'm not going to celebrate like I won too.
You and I have been together, been friends and adversaries when I was first coaching you.
Yeah, a lot of adversaries.
And then when we would compete against each other, when you were playing ball and I would be showing, okay, these are different conditioning things that we're going to do. Yeah, the friendship ended on the other side of the fence. Okay, from here, this is going to be us and you and me all day until we get back on the other side of the fence. So they are there, and I'm not cheering for you.
No.
Okay, I'm not cheering for you to get over the height. I'm doing everything except actually saying, knock the bar off loudly, because that's what I'm saying in my mind. Anyone who looks in my face can see Herb is saying, knock off the bar. Okay, let's not be stupid. This is a competition. I don't understand how you can be in a competition rooting for the person who is against you until we are finished the entire competition. Okay? Now, when we finish the entire competition, then we can be friendly, because it takes the edge off of you. All right? Now, if you've already come to the conclusion that I'm going to lose, then there is no edge to have. If you're afraid of me, that the only thing that you can do is be a friend of mine and hope that I don't beat your brains out some more, then, but it's a competition. We are competing against each other. I'm not saying be nasty to anybody, but I'm saying within the context of a competition, you have to keep your mind that I can beat him. I will beat him. I am going to beat him today. What happened 5 minutes ago, 3 seconds ago, last week has nothing to do with what's about to happen. And we used to not shake hands during, I don't know what they do now. Well, you get into the blocks. It was this thing about transferring energy that is still something that we don't do in the throws. I don't like athletes when they're throwing to be hugging other athletes or shaking hands during the competition, because I believe in transfer of energy, karma, whatever you want to call it, that you want to keep your focus and everything that you have within you. And all of this hugging and clapping and high-fiving, hey, the best I could give you is a thumbs up, and let's move on.
Agree. I don't understand that even if your main opponent is the bar, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. It was just over the top for me. I know I sound old. We probably sound old and terrible.
We probably are old.
That's true too. But to celebrate like I won the same as you when you have been beating my brains in like this, yeah, I couldn't do it. I'm not a big enough person.
Do you think Mondo Duplantis comes to a meet believing that any of them can beat him?
Not a single one.
Do you believe any of them are coming there believing they can beat him if he has a 90% day?
Not a single one.
So then that's the problem. So the only thing you have going for you now is that I've got to be within myself, that I am going to change my whole belief. I can't change my whole belief patting him on the back as he kills me. That's all.
I agree. A similar story I want to touch on very quickly.
Oh my goodness.
Wait a second. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Coach Johnson has gotten a phone call, probably from one of Mondo Duplantis' competitors. Yet has interrupted his picture. Okay, he's back.
The competitor was told, do not call me during the middle of the day because I'm going to be doing the podcast. You think it makes any difference? No. You know why? I'm not going to say why, but everyone there knows. All men. You know why, man? Okay? That's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say.
So another dominant performer I want to touch on real quick. Women's 1500, Faith Kipyegon has not lost in the finals of a 1500 meter since Sifan Hassan beat her by 0.3 of a second at a Diamond League meet in June of 2021. Again, she won.
Yes.
That's one of them things. Now, I will say those 1500 runners, they're not quite as friendly in the middle of competition as the pole vaulters are. And I appreciate that. Even when it's Faith Kipyegon, who is incredible, they're still out there like, you know, I might trip up Faith Kipyegon. And I respect that.
In the pack, the 1500, 3000, steeplechase, 510, you see a good bout going on. You can get a good fight in there. Some welterweights is in there just going at it at some points in the race. And their mindset, you've gone now past with them, because these become actually wars where countries' pride is on the line. All right, Ethiopia, Kenya, Morocco, even at some points, maybe not shown, I would say for the marathons, Japan, India. There's some people in there that this is not just a race. Okay, I've got to go home. And the people home, they're not accepting having silver medals. They expect you to come out here and bring back a gold medal. Kipyegon has gone to another level. I suppose for now, for this generation, we'll be saying a Usain Bolt type level. We'll use him as for the number of races over time and the way that she disposes of them. Oh, the race looks like we're all in the race for the first 150 meters, the last 150 meters. And then within 100 meters left, 125, she's like, well, I was just given the illusion that you were going to have a chance to win because I'm about to blow your doors off. And that's that. They do have the young lady, I think, Ewo, that is coming up. Was it 1-2-4 for them?
Let me double check that, because
I think a young lady broke up their sweep.
Yep. So it was 1-2. Yeah, 1-2-4. Jessica Hull from Australia took bronze. Yes.
So Kipchirchir was fourth, and Ewo came in. Ewo came in second.
Yep. That was the race right there between second and fourth. Was the race because Kipyegon. That was it was over. It was over.
Wow! Did you see the men's 1500? Was it the men's 1500?
That was some racing with Nader from Portugal.
Yes.
Oh my goodness!
The Nader came from back there. There was no way when they came around the curve. I wasn't looking at him anymore. He wasn't in the race. But Nader came down there, and I know Reitman.
Oh, he was probably picturing the medal because it was Whiteman, and then it was the two chariots, and that was it. And then Nader, I was like, hold on now. You slowly see him just start to enter the frame.
Yes.
Like, wait a second.
Oh, wow.
And then at the line, I was like, man, I'm pretty sure he got him 200ths of a second. He got him. This is where things have been interesting. Is anything above an 800 has been way closer
Yes.
than I would expect. Because, you know, okay, in a 100, there's only so much seconds you can even have. It's going to be close. But 200ths of a second in a 1500, then we were talking about the marathon, the men's marathon.
I had to write that down because I was really impressed with the marathon runners. That was crazy. The men's time was first place 209.48, second place 209.48. Tanzania won, Germany second. Out of that, that's Simbu and Petros. And the women weren't bad either, because the women came out 224.43, 224.45, 227.23, with Perez winning, Chipchachir, and then Asue and Patterson bringing up the rear. What I was really impressed with, and I know I chalked up her name in second place, but I have my own handwriting and I can't read it now. I forgot to put it phonetically, and I decided to write the word out. Sullivan led the marathon in the women for quite a long time from the United States. It was her and another young lady from the United States. I thought they were crazy because no one is going to lead the marathon and not get sucked back up by the peloton later on in the racing. I suppose they call it for bicycle and peloton, but by the pack as they come through the race. And I think they ate her up a little bit past midways the race, and as usual, spit her to the back, and then they went on. But then as they got into the stadium and I was looking to see, here she comes in fourth place. I've never seen anyone got eaten meat. I've never seen anyone where the pack, you leave, then the pack eats you up. I've never seen anyone come back close to being back. So that was that said something good about her, and maybe she's trying a tactic that I don't think I've seen many times, where you are actually going to try to lead the marathon from beginning to end. I'd like to see her try that again. Maybe, get recovered, and next year sometime pick a marathon. Doesn't have to be the World Championships. Try that in Boston or London or New York, and let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, that was impressive. As you said, let me see if I can get the girl's name right. Paternane, the woman's name right, from Uruguay, who came in third and did not know she had come in third. And then when she realized she came in third,
oh yes,
she celebrated like one of Mondo's competitors.
And the second place young lady, what is her name? Osafar?
Yeah, I think so. See, now this is where you start to figure out that we went to school in Charleston, South Carolina.
You're not saying it fast enough. If you say the words fast enough, they are correct. Asafar. That's it.
But how mad would you be if you ran 26.2 miles and you lost by 0.03 of a second, like in the men's marathon?
Brandon, I'm yelling for the bar to fall off, sitting down against Mondo Duplantis, okay? And you mean I actually had a chance, and you went by me with that 300th of a second?
A photo finish in the marathon.
First, we aren't even supposed to be here. And while I am running on the side of you as we are coming into the stadium and we go around and we're actually heading for the finish line, in my mind, I am saying I should hit you with an elbow. That's what I'm saying in my head. But I run too far to get disqualified for hitting you with an elbow. But I'm wishing that my thoughts of hitting you with an elbow is enough to knock you down. Wow. That's where you just have to accept it. Because there's not, but as far as being from a marathon standpoint, I doubt if I'd have enough energy to be angry at that day.
That's true.
But a month later, I'm going to be very upset at myself and anybody else that I could be upset at.
Agreed. What have we not covered that we need to cover?
I think we got the women's 100 hurdles. That was with Masai Russell not making it there. Tension, the man's 100 hurdles. I'd like to say, not so much Tench, I'm happy for him. His story is incredible. I'm waiting for the movie because from where he was to how he get to where he is now, that's a movie. But there are a lot of movies out there when you're on the world stage, because these people aren't getting $50 billion out of a draft. These are people who are running on their own for a long period of time. And some of the ones that you're looking at the World Championships, they don't even have sponsors, even though they're winning. So it's one of those things. But Grant Holloway, is in trouble. He said he
He
was in trouble, but he is. I think we kind of punched on that last year about how his extension of his back arm over the last like hurdle 7, 8, 9, 10, he starts to falter. It gives you an idea of what I'm talking about with Crochane. It's just that place. Now, as he was so much better than the world and was using his speed and could relax, relaxation allows you a lot of leeway for mistakes. But when you can't relax and you start making tiny mistakes, just a little bit too close to the hurdle, just a little bit too far back, my foot, I landed on my toe, but my heel dropped. If you start dissecting some of the things that are going on, no one major thing, but teeny on teeny. And once something happens that makes you lose your acceleration, if I was supposed to land on my toe and my heel drops, that drops my butt and hip, and I'm actually now going backwards. Well, that's not a problem unless I'm running against the best in the world. See, for that 1.10 million billionth of a second, they didn't go backwards. And now to reignite, to accelerate again, it would be anyone who drives a car. You put it, if you drive a stick or have driven a stick first, second, third, you put it in fourth gear, you hit overdrive. Okay, you go back the next time and you hit first, second, third, and you just, and then you hit too late. You might as well go back to third gear because you can't go now that you slowed down to fifth gear on third to fourth gear. So you're going to have to go back and start again. And with people running like they're running, you can't do that. Is it over? It's a thing of age. Father Time is undefeated for a reason. Is it over? But he seemed really confused, which tells me that his camp and they don't have an idea of what's going on.
Yes, 27 years old, Grant Holloway. But you're right. He seemed very bothered by the whole thing. He didn't know that's the worst feeling. Because if I make a mistake and I'm like, okay, because I bet Kashane, he knows.
Yes.
Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing this wrong. I need to focus more on this. For you to be doing something and you don't know what you're doing, you can't fix something you don't know what's broken.
No, I would start with and I say old days, the 70s, early 80s, maybe the early 80s and back. The Russians and a lot of people used to use 12 hurdles, 10 to 12 hurdles in practice. You might not leave it at the regular length apart. You might bring them in maybe 1.5 feet or 2 feet. But the object was to teach the athlete to run perfect form over distance of the hurdle at a rapid pace. And you might do 5 of those over a particular time to get a strength level. Where I would start with him, I'm not his coach. I don't know what's going on. Did he have a stomach ache? Did he lose focus? Did the wife yell at him or the girlfriend? Did the dog bite him? I don't know what it is, but it seems like it's a conditioning problem along with the inability to bring that backhand that is his lead arm over the hurdle. And when he comes across, that backhand goes all the way back and almost up. A lot of the other people, backhand is coming about a little past 90 degrees, but they are able to punch back. It doesn't open. It doesn't make an opening. It's just kind of bent there. I think that means that he can't start running forward until that arm comes back through. So he's kind of floating over the hurdles. And when I went back to look at his tape, it seemed that he was floating more and more across the hurdle before landing. And if that's a problem, then he's floating. And those things at that level, where someone is going to tell you got to go all the way back to first grade in order to come back up to world level, we know he won't have to go. He'll have to go all the way back in his technique and his basic training and getting the drills and stuff. See, getting his head wrapped around the fact that I got to go back and do the same things with the same impetus that a beginner is doing. Whereas before I did it and I paid lip service to it, but now I have to actually do it. That's something I think that he's gonna have to look at. That's where I would start. And I don't coach him, but that's where I would start.
And why this is a big deal: 2019 world champion, 2022 world champion, 2023 world champion, 2024 gold medalist, 2021 silver medalist. For him not to make the finals,
that's crazy now. That's crazy.
That's a big deal. And you could see it. You could see it. You could hear it. That was a big deal to him as well. Because,
and it meant that he didn't come there with an injury.
Yep.
Right? If he'd come there with an injury, he would have had a different mindset, even in his talking to the young man who's the interviewer. He would have come there with a different mindset. So I can't figure it out. And then he gave an insight. He said, we've been working on this, but we haven't come up with the answer. So now that even is a longer problem as to what it is. And that's why I go back to Father Time is undefeated.
Yes. Yeah. Because you're right. Because those athletes like Alfred, who came in, they were banged up, or at least they knew they were injured at some point. Who else was it? Kerr, I believe, who got hurt in the 1500s. Mm-hmm. There was nothing you can do about that. Like, my body broke down. It is what it is.
Yes, and Hawker with his stupid self trying to run between people. Is he crazy? You can't. This is not football. First place, how many times am I going to tell people, don't get trapped on the rail when you are 250 meters away from the finish line. You have to start making your way to the outside if you're inside. To sit there and wait for something to open up. Only a fool, and I know that people have let people go by on the inside, only a fool opens up the inside and lets you go by. So they weren't fooled that day, so he tried to come between and actually work his way in there. And then think he wasn't going to get disqualified.
It was a bold attempt.
Yes, because there was nothing else to do. He put himself in a no-win
position. Done. Yeah.
Yes, he was done. So
he was just hoping someone was going to be friendly, and no, that's legal. No, that was very funny to see, because that
was not.
I would do that if I was a long jumper too. Oh, you think you're going to jump into the pit? Let me just walk right across. See, I'm laying in the sand. Go ahead, jump.
Brandon, get your head is bad.
So, yes. All right. What else is left? I feel like we covered everything.
Yes. Now, do you want to talk about something stupid? The enhanced games, but other than that, you just let them go and see that for themselves.
Yeah, that's go look stupid. That up. Fred Curley, my goodness. All right,
Mike Curley, just put a stamp on your head and put the scarlet S on your head. Okay, steroids or whatever you want to say, because that is kind of crazy. Why would you put yourself through that? He has a violation for not coming out, not a whereabouts violation. It just makes people think something negative. When you join a game that say they will allow you to take anything you want except for heroin and opium.
That's a little bit crazy.
That's a little crazy.
We'll probably have to, when they get started with that, we're definitely going to have to do an episode on that. But for now, if someone wants championship track and field coaching, let them know where to go. I'm going to hold up the Herbert Johnson track and field onesie as you talk about it.
If you would like track and field training, Herbert Johnson Track and Field Academy, we are on Facebook. Easy to find us there. Just go on Facebook and I am me. And we're going to start something this year. This is our 50th season of track and field from 1976, 77 to now, 2025 to 2026. And we're going to start something different, more online training this year. So if you're interested, give us a contact and leave anything in the comment for Brandon here with Herbert Johnson Track and Field Academy, and the way I can get in touch with you. And you can hit me up on my email address at hjtfa@hotmail.com or hjtfa@yahoo.com. One of those has got to be correct, because I can't ever remember them.
That is very good. Always a fun time.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for watching, listening, rating, subscribing, reviewing, sharing, leaving your comments for me and Coach, hopefully nice ones. hopefully one day I get a hat. I've been asking Coach for a hat and a shirt
Look,
for a
Brandon,
very long
I
time
have
now.
so many hats to give, and you haven't got one until I've got two hats
See,
on at
this
the
is
same
exactly what I'm talking
time.
about. So let me go deal with this.